The bar itself, it actually dates right back to 900 AD. We are 1,124 years old, dated by both the National Museum of Ireland and certified by the Guinness Book of World Records. Over here, folks, you will see our letters, both from the National Museum and the Guinness World Records, and also our cert from them, actually dating us to 900, and the oldest pub anywhere in the world. Now, what you have in the cabinet are part of the old walls. That section came from upstairs during renovations in 1970. The rest of the walls from the renovations are on display with the National Museum of Ireland. Now, what you're looking at there is called wattle and wicker or wattle and daub, which is interwoven hazel sticks held together with horsehair and clay and duct tape and super glue and everything else to keep it together. And I'm not joking on that one. But what you see in the cabinet here is exactly what's inside all of the walls, the whole way right around and upstairs. It is the same original building, made from wattle and wicker, built right back in 900. Now, if you also look down along the floor, you will see it slopes the whole way through. One or two more of those Irish copies, and it'll be quite great. That slope flow, prior to COVID, was the original drainage system. The water would flow down the hill, come in the front door, straight down the slope, right out the back, and into the River Shannon. Now, that is the River Shannon out there, which is fed by Lough Ree, 5 minutes from it. Huge lake, 30 kilometres long, 10 kilometres wide, and then it funnels back into the River Shannon here. So you would have to come the whole way around the lake. And the very first cross point you came to, directly here. And that is why a man called Lewin built the bar here and set up the crossing point. Then, of course, he charged everybody to go over it back. He was thinking well ahead of himself. Now, here in Ireland also, every town or city is built around either a castle or a fort. That is every town apart from Athlone here. And for some strange reason, and we do not know why, they tended to do everything backways around here. And it has not changed one little bit. For example, Athlone is not built around a castle or a fort. Athlone is actually built around a pub. They had their priorities right. They actually did build a bar here first, and then a settlement built up around it and the crossing point. And they didn't bother with the castle at all until 1129, when King Turlough O'Connor, who was the very last High King of Ireland, he built the first wooden castle here to actually guard that settlement. He called that settlement then Áthach Luain, meaning the ford of Lewin or the place of Lewin. And today, in Irish, Áthach Luain is Athlone, the name of the town here. That's actually how the town got its name, from the first person that built the bar here, right back in 900. Now, going back to 900, it was called Lewin's Inn. Various owners and innkeepers throughout history. One innkeeper even had his own currency here, William Moorhead, because he didn't want to deal with the British. That's true. He actually minted his own coins or silver tokens and stamped them in the shape of a bird in a tree. And he then used those tokens to barter or exchange with his customers for goods. All of those tokens are also on display with the National Museum of Ireland. Another colourful innkeeper in 1756, Mark Begg, set up the very first stagecoach service here in Ireland, travelling from the Midlands, or Athlone here, to Dublin. He departed on a Thursday, returning again the following Monday. But not only did he charge everybody per head, he also charged per baggage weight. He got there before the airlines. Became known as Sean's in 1954, when a man called Sean O'Brien bought the bar called the Sean's. He was a cattle dealer by trade, and he in turn sold it in 1970 to another Sean. Actually, this gentleman in the photograph behind me here. A man from Dublin, Sean Fitzsimons. He would come down here at the weekends with his friends. He had a barge which he kept out the back here. And himself and his friends would head up the lake, partying, drinking away for the weekend. They were back here one Sunday evening, prior to going back to Dublin. He was standing at the bottom of the bar, getting around to drink for himself and his friends. And one of his friends began to joke with him and said, "Sean, you should buy the bar. You wouldn't have to change your name on it or anything." And he turned around there and then and bought it for £5,000. And it has remained as Sean's ever since. And he found it. And you're very welcome. Now, that's one piece of history. I mentioned Lough Ree here beside us. There is another huge piece of history associated with this lake. Does anybody here have an interest in whiskey? Yeah. Well, thank God, or I was gone home. Now, this is not a story. This is something I have 17 years research gone into, the whole history and origin of whiskey here. Going back 17 years ago, Google was not a thing. Still not a thing, to be honest with you. It was all hands-on. Every week I was up to Dublin to the National Museum. One week I'm chasing that piece of history, and I'll come back with that. The following week then I'm up chasing that, and I'll come back with that and that I never went up for whatsoever. It was all hands-on. Meeting with local historians. People had written books on Lough Ree and its islands. meeting with people that lived on these islands and getting their history that was handed down from generation to generation, going to lectures on the massive Viking history here on the lake, which is huge altogether. But the good part about all of this, not being Google, all our research was done over a 17-year period now, with and through the National Museum of Ireland, and fully verified by them.